We'll be doing a map tour of Vienna, so you'll see how everything is laid out in this town. All right, let's take a look at the map right here. When you search for Vienna on Google Maps, what will show up is only the town limit. In reality, its postal area is much larger. For our purposes, Vienna includes several zip codes: 22180, 22182, 22181, and 22027. Vienna stretches all the way to Route 606 and 674 near Reston to the north, some parts of Tysons bordering I-495 to the east, Oakton to the west, and goes over I-66 to the south, extending to some parts of Marysville. There's a lot of overlapping going on here as far as the location is concerned. This is why some schools from other nearby areas also serve Vienna residents, but we'll talk about that a little later. Now, if you've noticed, you've got a great selection of major roads surrounding Vienna. There's I-66, I-495, and Route 267. Some parts of Vienna will also find Route 7 useful, particularly if you're in the northern neighborhood like Wolf Trap Woods. If you're going to be using Route 7 though, you have to plan your commute really well. There's a lot of construction going on here right now because they're trying to widen the roads from 4 lanes to 6 lanes, so 3 lanes in each direction, and it's expected to be done by 2024. Now, when you live here, short commutes to work aren't really a thing. That's because there are limited employment opportunities within Vienna. You've got the Navy Federal Credit Union's headquarters here, but every other big employer within Northern Virginia is in other nearby areas. All right, let's talk about what's that going to be like for you. For the sake of simplicity, since Vienna is quite big, we'll just use the town center as a reference point. From here, getting to Tysons is as simple as going through Maple Avenue, which is just 2.6 miles away. Tysons is home to many headquarters. The biggest ones include Booz Allen Hamilton, Capital One, and Freddie Mac. Once you're out of Vienna, Maple Avenue turns into Route 123. You can continue going straight on this road into McLean, where the headquarters of Mars Inc. and the CIA are. If you work at Reston Town Center, you can head up on Lawyers Road and then on Route 267, which is only an 8.5 mile trip. You'll also find a ton of headquarters like Rolls-Royce Northern America. Clarendon in Arlington is also a high employment area with several businesses and a variety of startups. From Vienna, you can simply hop on I-66 to go there. It gets pretty busy on this road though, since most of Northern Virginia's traffic is right here. And finally, we have Washington, D.C. right here, which is around 17 miles away. You have 2 options here. You can travel along I-66 and reach the capital through Theodore Roosevelt Bridge, or you can commute on Route 123, hop on I-495, get on George Washington Memorial Parkway, and then go through Francis Scott Memorial Bridge to reach DC. Either of these can be more convenient for you depending on where you live in Vienna. When it comes to commuting, Vienna residents often drive to work, but if you don't want to get behind the wheel, you can take the metro or the commuter bus. Vienna has 3 metro rail stations: Vienna Fairfax GMU, Dunlorin Merrifield on the Orange Line, and Spring Hill on the Silver Line. Let's talk about the amenities and creature comforts in Vienna. We'll start again from the town center, which would be on Maple Avenue. Maple Avenue is kind of like the downtown area, so it's where you'll spend most of your time gathering essentials. There are plenty of restaurants here, services, banks, doctors, and even dentists. Right beside Maple Avenue is Church Street, a fun strip filled with small and local businesses. And like I said before, Vienna is so close to Tysons area, so you can easily head to Tysons Corner Center if you want high-end shopping and dining options. You can also consider Mosaic District down south if you live near it. As you go out of the town center, you'll find plenty of parks. Vienna has 12 parks in total, with the most popular ones located in the north, such as Meadowlark Botanical Garden and Wolf Trap National Park. If you like the country club lifestyle, you also have a few options here. The best one in my opinion would be Westwood Country Club, which is just right here along Maple Avenue. You've got golf courses, tennis courts, an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and a fitness center here. Smaller ones like Cardinal Hill Swim and Racket Club, and neighborhood clubs like Vienna Aquatic Club and Dunlorin Swim Club also exist here. All right, you've watched our pros and cons video of Vienna, which I think you should watch if you haven't already. You'll know that the town has top-notch public schools. In fact, a good chunk of residents here choose to live in Vienna for this very reason. I'm going to pull up a map for you to see all of them here. As you can see, these schools are pretty spread apart. There's a higher concentration of schools in the area around the center of Vienna. Living in this general area will put you closer to schools, great for short commutes. But if you live somewhere to the north of Vienna, the school borders are much bigger. You have to travel a bit further away to take your kids to school. Not to worry though, because your kids are in the Fairfax County school system, they will be able to catch a bus if they're outside of walking distance. Now, Vienna's public school district goes beyond its borders. Some residents here go to schools in the nearby towns like Mosaic Elementary School, Cooper Middle School, Langley High School, and McLean High School. And you're likely to be within those schools' borders if you live up north. That's still quite a bit of travel time to consider. So while you can't go wrong with choosing any school in town when it comes to the quality of education, you still have to consider convenience. And because where you live dictates which public school your children can go to, you need to be careful in choosing your neighborhood. I've got a list of the best neighborhoods in Vienna. They're Vienna Woods, West Vienna Woods, Dunloring Woods, Stonewall Manor, Country Creek, and Wolf Trap Woods. Now we'll touch on these neighborhoods here briefly, but I do want to let you know we will be releasing a best neighborhoods to live in, where we go a little bit deeper into each one of these neighborhoods to give you the ins and outs of why these areas are so popular. So be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so when that video is released, you can be the first to know. Let's take a look at each one of these neighborhoods and their surrounding areas. First up, we've got Vienna Woods and West Vienna Woods. I'll be talking about both at the same time here since they're just beside one another. These two are the closest neighborhoods to the downtown area. They're basically right beside Maple Avenue, so you'll be close to all these establishments. You still have great access to the interstates here too, along with parks, clubs, and all the other town amenities. So this is a great neighborhood if you love being close to your creature comforts. Now let's head to the east, where you'll find Dunloring Woods and Stone Manor. These two are also beside each other. A big benefit of living in either of the two is the easy commute access. Here you'll be right beside the intersection of I-66, I-495, and you've got the Dunloring metro station right in front of you. It's possible that you may not like how close these areas are to such a busy road though. In fact, some houses here in Dunloring Woods have a tall wall that backs up to 66. Although when I visited the neighborhood, I was pleasantly surprised because it's not as noisy here as you'd think. You'll be further away from Maple Avenue here, but that's all right since you've got Mosaic District just down the street. Let's move on to Country Creek, which lies right here on the boundary between Vienna and Oakton. Now, what most buyers and residents love about this neighborhood is that they have Nottoway Park right in their backyard. So you pretty much have the best of both worlds here. You've got a laid-back place to live in while getting the urban convenience of two towns. Last on the list is Wolf Trap Woods, which is pretty far from every other neighborhood we've talked about thus far. While it's a bit further away from the heart of the town, on the upside, it's much closer to the Tysons area. There isn't much in the vicinity of this neighborhood, but take a look at this big green space right here. That's Wolf Trap National Park. You have a national park right next to you here, plus the famous Meadowlark Botanical Garden across the street. So this is the ideal place for outdoorsy people. Now, I mentioned earlier to be wary of Route 7 right here because construction is still going on to widen the road. That is going to last until 2024. But if you live in Wolf Trap Woods, you're going to use this a lot. So that's a temporary con to consider right now. So there you have it. That was our map tour of Vienna. If you want to know a little bit more about this town, make sure you check out our playlist right here on the screen. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.